And I am so excited because tonight I am joined live in Studio 2A by Tucson four-piece band, the Unday. Without further ado, the Unday, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Alone. Does the sun even rise anymore? And I think we've crossed this path before. I hope you aren't waiting for me to take charge of this mission, 'cause I have no weapon, no sense of direction. I'm walking straight to that mirror. Guess you shouldn't talk at all. If you can't face me with sanity, oh, don't face me, don't face me, don't face me. We'll never get anywhere. We'll never get if I keep looking over my shoulder. This song is a fate, and it's here right up in my face. And I think it's time to roll on. If you can't face me with humanity, don't face me at all. Spin back in a delicate charade. Her words poured out in the shot glass before her. To her lips and the world started pouring out. It was too late, now the madness was in motion. An ivy path where the wild women ride. To be strong and her cause grew even stronger. She's making out with makers mark tonight. For the cause destruction and no violence. A midnight running with the terrors of the soul. You're deceived by a smile and her magic, making out with makers more tonight. Hell hath no fury like a woman with no maker's mark tonight. Long hair designed to get in a dark night. Fail to see the reason of each delivery side. What hell designed for to get on alone. Even at this rate, I'm to blame for it all, and forced to never give in to hearts their own market, all the same around the world as well. Happiness drifts through this age and left aside. Won't fail to keep this unreasonable divide. What hell decipher to get alone? Even at this rate, I'm to blame for it all, and forced to never give in to hearts that won't market, all the same around the world as well. Under the breakdown of listening remorse, fail to see what has been up on the source, and forced to never begin to hearts their own market, all the same around the world as well.
This is KXCI Tucson. You're listening to Locals Only, and we are live in Studio 2A with the Unday. So glad to have you guys here. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us. Sophie.
Yeah. Is this your first time in Studio 2A?
It definitely is.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So glad I get to be here. Let's start with introductions then. Who are you and what are you playing? This is your mic. In case you
I'm Clovis, guitar mostly. Mostly. Sometimes this guy picks one up and I'll jump on the bass.
Well, I'm Deanna Cross. I'm a vocalist, obviously. I play, technically this is a 5-string violin, so it's a viola and a violin kind of in one, and guitar on some songs, and yeah, that's me.
I'm Sean Botoff. I play bass.
I am Sam Bess, and I am the percussion section.
You guys have known each other for 10 years? Feel free to correct me.
Sort of. So we, the Unday, this project was originally formed 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. It was actually a very good friend of ours, Bill Sanford, who founded the band. And he was our percussionist for the first album. And then 3 years ago, we joined up with Sam and kind of revitalized this project. And so we've been this version of the Unday for, I think it's been 3 years, right? Mm-hmm. Almost exactly 3 years.
Yeah, and on your bio online it says that a few of you have been playing together in like jam bands and bar bands before that.
Yes.
Even.
So the three of us were actually in a project called Misled, and that was 2004, I think, is when we started that, and it was just a fun drunken punk rock time. I don't know what you would call that band, but definitely more of like a bar band. Yeah. And you know, it was fun. I mean, we took it seriously, but not really. It was.
And I was playing guitar, and she was actually on
right. I wasn't singing then. I was playing bass.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, so that leads me to my very cheesy question, but what do you think you all share that makes you able to play music together for 14 years in some cases?
Amazing patience and tolerance.
It's patience. I think that
love of music.
Yeah, it definitely comes down to the love of music, and we're all friends. Like we love music, but we love each other too. And so we've certainly had heated discussions before, but it's never ended, playing music together.
Right.
It's never ended a friendship.
Yeah.
So
I think that's
on.
incredible.
Yeah.
Like I'm really over the moon about how long you guys have known each other and been playing together. It's super inspirational.
Thank you. I feel incredibly lucky to get to make music with people that I truly love and care about. And Sam has become that too in the 3 years we've been playing together. He's part of my crew, but yeah, I think that's the biggest reward, really, playing great music with great people that I love. Yeah.
Let's talk about the music. So you formed the Unday in 2011, right? And it was,
Sure.
Okay.
I'm the expert here. Yeah. You tell us.
So around circa 2011, and it was different than what you have been playing before. What led you to this particular sound, this style of music?
I think a big part of it, we all have different influences musically. So we have a lot of classic rock influence. There's definitely some like late 90s grunge influence, but we all bring to the table our own kind of thing. And I think we all want our voices heard with that. And so it's created this sound that has become the Unday by injecting our own personal vibe into it, and magic. I like to call it magic, but
yeah, it's an incredibly unique sound. Like the viola being like, and the fact that your vocals and the viola are kind of on their own levels. That's really difficult. I know as a violinist, like you're always scared about competing with the vocals, but in this band, it doesn't seem to compete. They work beautifully together. And I think that's really rare. You mentioned that there's Spanish and classical influences. Why was it important for you to uphold those, bring those to the table?
Well, for me, I came from a classical background playing violin. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's one of the things I brought to the table was just that classical. Sean also was classically trained, but well,
high school.
in high, but that counts. But he played saxophone, so there was like some of this classical influence going on with it. And I think when we first started, there weren't a lot of bands that had violin or viola in them, so I think we use that as a descriptor to kind of like pull people in, like say, hey, it's okay for a violin to be in a rock band, or
I think we kind of use like a lot of our instruments to do that. You know, Clovis has got the silent guitar, Sean's playing the 6-string bass, and like when I put my drum set together to play with this band, I kind of was like, I want to go for something different, something that sounds a little unique and something that looks unique, something that when I go to shows, people are like, oh, that the dude with the tiny bass drum, or you know, the splash cymbal or something like that, or the piccolo snare drum, things like that, to really kind of like take it to the next level of making it unique.
Yeah, the smorgasbord of sound.
Yeah.
It's great. No, I know what my question is. Here we go. Who writes the songs? Like, or if it's more than one person, what's that process like?
It's a pretty democratic process overall.
Oh, do tell, because that's rare.
Well, we usually start with a riff, like either Clovis or I, but you know,
and
we
is
just
this
write
in
that
the room, like in your practice room?
Practice. A lot of times one of us will come up with something on our own, and a lot of things, maybe half or a little more, start with Sean and myself. But Deanna writes some songs, and basically it's always open. Anyone that brings anything to the table, and we try to collaborate.
And we'll write a riff, and then somebody else will jump on it and do something, and it changes the sound and the feel of it completely. And it's like, oh, I actually like that a lot better. Let's do that. We collaborate that way.
Yeah, we don't really know where it's going until we get there sometimes.
And is that usually done in like kind of a jam format, or is it that you're like pinging voice memos back and forth?
Sometimes a little more constructive. We'll make recordings and send them back and forth, but often it's in the practice space. Maybe we'll do the recording to try and write more to work on it next week, but
yeah, I think we have a lot of songs that just never, because we do write organically that way, a lot of songs that just never kind of made it past. Like we loved it for a verse and a chorus, and then we're like, well, I don't know what to do with it now, so it's sort of it's sitting on the back burner. And sometimes it just takes perspective. Like some of our songs we came back to, like, oh yeah, I remember that thing we were working on, and then it falls into place like at that point. So it's like capturing the right time, you know, lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, absolutely. And on your website, again, there's a mention about it being, a lot of the songs being about impermanence. Is that still the case? Like, is this a theme that has lived with you guys for years?
Definitely. Yeah. A lot of our songs are about life and death and the human condition. And I'm sure you were saving this question for later, but even our band name...
No, I meant to ask it at the beginning, so please do circle back.
So even our band name kind of came from that idea of, well, it was the... see, I wasn't even prepared to answer my own question that I gave myself. It's the idea of, like, fighting time, I guess. And the Unday represents, to me, well, you know, it changes all the time.
Escaping those confines of time.
Yeah, escaping the confines of time. And like an Unday would be like a day that doesn't exist. Like if we made it a national holiday, it would be a day that didn't count. Like you couldn't schedule anything on that day. Everyone has to turn their clocks off. Like it would be a day without time.
Yeah.
And I think with that kind of mentality, definitely impermanence plays into that for sure. I don't know. All these, we're going to get really deep and philosophical.
I'm completely here for it. Who writes the lyrics? Is it everyone?
I mostly write the lyrics. There are some songs that, like M, we're going to play a little later. Clovis wrote all the lyrics for that song. And then, what song am I thinking? Continuum, which we just released. Sean and I collaborated on that, and he wrote a good portion of the lyrics for that. Mm-hmm. So it's been a little bit of a joint effort. And then sometimes when I get stuck writing lyrics, which happens often, sometimes I'll come to these guys for help. And
awesome. More music
Yeah.
But I do have to say, we are not live on Facebook, but we are live on YouTube, if anyone wants to tune
nice.
in
Okay,
and
yeah.
look at us. You guys.
See what we look like in real life.
Yeah. This is Locals Only. We are live in Studio 2A with the Unday. Take it away whenever you're ready.
1, 2, 1, 2.
They have paved a road right down your back and over your wings, and underneath you question how long you let yourself get buried down and have not made the time to be yourself. I'm shot through the world and I shout to the world. You won't bring me down on your level to drown. Bite my tongue and my cheek, wipe the blood from my teeth and choke it down. Leaning, it's mighty hard to hear the mother breathe in. Doubt you'll need the oxygen to voice this. You're standing and it means you haven't lost yet. Strength and will and good intention. I'm shot through the world and I shout to the world. You won't bring me down on your level to drown. to where there's runaway. Get on this auto, let your head down. I take enough to where they're far away. Get on this full switch, goes to away.
This is KXCI Tucson. You're listening to Locals Only. My name is Sophie, and we are live in Studio 2A with the Unday. I do like that rhymes. Makes me happy. How are you? Are you good with your mic?
Yeah, I'm just gonna adjust it a little
Go
bit.
for it. Please do. This is their first time in Studio 2A. We are overjoyed to have you. Still, we are also live on YouTube. I want to talk about Continuum, which you played first in that set, and you just released it as a single on Friday, correct?
We did, yes.
Yeah. And you recorded that at Luna, am I right?
Right, Luna
Along
Recording
with
Studios.
other tracks of yours, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Tell me about what it's like recording at Luna.
I love recording there. It's George is great. He's the one that runs Luna there. He's the sound engineer, the owner, and he. I don't know. I think he makes it. Like the studio is very nice.
Yeah.
It's
He's
nice
really
and dark in there,
knowledgeable and
but-
really easy to work with. Not a pushover,
But
just
he's
the
honest.
right amount of.
He's honest too. He'll tell us if we're
Yeah.
not.
Do it again.
Yeah.
We're at a point like he's almost like a pseudo producer when we're in there for us. So it's a good balance.
Yeah.
I like
Now he's
George.
gonna charge us more. That you said that on the. It's like I heard it.
Is Continuum the first song of a longer album that you have planned?
Well, kind of. Yes. And we also released Maker's Mark this year. And I'm not sure if those are going to go on the album together, but that's kind of our idea. I think Making Out with Maker's Mark, we did a full video for that one too.
Which is very, very cool. You should check it out.
Yeah.
Very
It's-
talented filmmakers in town help us with that.
Is that the one that's on the homepage that's of the website? Or the video?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's probably.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I'm in
And
the middle of changing our website, so I don't know
I
exactly
spent a
what's on
lot
there.
of time on it, clearly. I keep referencing your website. But yeah, that video is gorgeous, and I think you guys are in like kind of like, I've never been to Luna, but was it filmed at?
Oh yeah, so that's M.
Oh,
Those sort of
yeah,
like greenish yellow
Maker's Mark,
lights.
yeah. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Maker's
yeah.
Mark, we
A lot
did a
of M's.
full video. We're barely even in it because it's like a whole story and everything. Burnt Crimson Productions helped us put that video together, and they did an amazing job. We had tons of volunteers. There's dancing,
Cool.
and yeah. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so we released that one first, and I think we were still on the fence of whether we were going to include that in our final album, which is why we kind of released it as a single. Just because it is a little bit different than a lot of our stuff. It's a much more dancey pop song, where a lot of our other stuff is a little bit more intense and prog rock.
Yeah.
A little prog rock in there. But ultimately, so yes, everything that you probably saw recently, like M, Falling Forward, Maker's Mark, and Continuum that we just released, are all new. And yes, our plan is to put it on a CD.
Awesome.
Long answer short.
Yeah. No, I'm there. And you guys perform live all over town. You have a show coming up at the Surly Wench, correct? What's the date on that one?
That's the 22nd.
And they can get a sense of it if they watch YouTube, but what can people expect from a live Unday show?
Intensity?
Yeah.
Probably about our best. I think it's all about that energy the crowd is feeding you, and we feed it back, and it just keeps reciprocating and building. And I
We
think
give
that shows in the music.
Yeah, we give the audience like a lot to chew on. Like when we play music, there's a lot of music going on, and so people sit there and you see their faces just watching this. They're like, wow. And we finish, and sometimes he mentions this a lot, where we finish a song and there's like a lull. We're like doing claps for a second.
Dead silence.
Yeah, they're like in
before the
awe for a second.
explosion of applause.
Yeah.
Or horrified. Like, I'm like, are they horrified?
Are they gonna clap? I don't know. Did they
They're
like it?
digesting. You've given them a lot. They
Yeah.
have to.
And a lot of our songs do end very intense. So
Yeah.
I think it's sort of like a smack in the face when we finish a song. Sometimes they're like, oh, the song's over.
Have you guys ever been on tour together?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But maybe one day.
Yeah, we're
Hopefully
actually
soon.
talking about doing a tour in February.
Anywhere specific?
The Texas track over that way, maybe a little bit of Louisiana.
Yeah. Why there?
I'm from over there. I got a lot of connections, and having moved over here and been in this band, I like tell my friends back home, I'm like, dude, you gotta hear this band that I'm in. It's killer. So I just really want to get back over there and show everybody what I've been doing over here.
The real deal.
Yeah.
Bring them all with you.
Yeah, it seems like a smart place to start since like that's where Sam's from. He already has his crew there, so we're not starting as total strangers walking into like an area.
Yeah. Yeah. And back here at home, do you have a very favorite place to perform? Like some place that you feel like really comfortable and at home?
I don't know, they keep closing.
Yeah, it's true. I'm right there with you. There was a point in Tucson's history where there was just like an enormous number of small live music venues.
Yeah, they're getting smaller or less and less. But we do really enjoy playing at Surly Wench. They've always been really great to us at Surly Wench. And of course Club Congress.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful stage, and sometimes they give us the drama. They let us like start with the curtain down and the curtain comes up. Like that's a nice feeling.
Yeah, yeah, that is. Especially for you guys, this is like very like meaty.
Yeah,
you get the full
add
beginning.
to the drama.
Right.
We can't afford all the lasers and everything yet, so we'll take a curtain. That's like we'll take it.
And the music itself.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we talked about a tour. We talked about an album. Any other plans for the immediate future? Like dreams? It can be impermanent and strange. Anything you really want to do musically coming up here?
I don't know. I think
More studio time.
definitely
More
more
studio
studio time. That's definitely in our future. More writing, but I think the studio time is really important.
Yeah.
So we want
We
just
did
want a
our
record of
last
everything.
album on about $1,000 budget. We're hoping to maybe get a little crowdfunding going, and maybe about 10 we can get everything done right this time for the rest of the recording and just everything. So that'd be nice to.
But
do it
1,000
right.
that's commendable.
No,
that's amazing.
Yeah, that was cool, but
Yeah.
I couldn't really focus on like playing guitar and just
Yeah.
being an artist. I was
That
constantly
was
stressing
also-
In
about
his
everything.
living room, she was in a back room with
Yeah.
mattresses surrounding her. For
We
a sound
converted
booth.
my
That
house and
Yeah.
did ridiculous things, but
Proud
got
of
done, I guess.
And it was during the summer with the swamp cooler, so we had to have the swamp cooler off the whole every time we were recording.
Yeah.
But I think it was a really good experience.
Absolutely.
We're very appreciative of the air-conditioned studio.
Yeah, so now when we go to Luna, we're like, and we can just relax and let him, let George do
What he
the
does,
other work, and we
do
can
what we
just,
do.
we can just focus on playing. Because I think trying to manage all that and recording yourself is crazy. I commend everyone who does that, and I think that all artists should try that. But it's, for what we're doing, our music's complicated enough. We don't need to complicate our recording process by doing that all on our own too.
Feel that.
Yeah.
Well, it's out in the world now, so people know.
Yeah.
We're looking for more studio time.
Yes.
All right, so one more set from you guys. Thank you so much for coming down. It's been a
Thanks for
joy to
having
have
us.
you.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.
I think 3 or 4 more sounds about right.
3 or 4 more?
Which one of those you think?
I think we have time for 3.
3?
Yes. Perfect. It will be.
That's what we planned. She's in the dark, laying out low. In part of all she's been told is right for let go. Each one is lived and it's all right on your way home.
keeping his soul in spite of what you've been told. It's not right. Take and take. Each one is kept in your fold. I can see through this night, and it's all for
is KXCI Tucson. Locals only. You've been listening to the Unday live in Studio 2A. That is all we have time for, but you can catch them live at the Surly Wench. What's the date?
The 22nd, November. That's this month. November 22nd.
Amazing. Keep that dial on KXCI all night long, and we'll see you in a week on Monday.